Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it as Peyton. I'm not gonna do the whole Hugh Janus thing. It'd be contrived. It'd be contrived.
Yeah,
We'll
no,
just
you're
leave it
good. You're
Peyton.
good. Um, all right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get the first episode of uh what did we decide on? Elder Zoomers Gaming Guild.
Gaming Guild, I
Gaming
think.
Guild podcast.
Yeah.
Easy GG, let's go.
All right, easy GG.
Made up a name for a fucking acronym.
Yeah. Really is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw us some questions here. I'm gonna figuratively throw a volleyball up in the air, and I want you guys to spike it. All right.
All right.
So,
yes, coach.
I love Haikyuu.
So first thing I want to talk about, and again, Halo Infinite campaign just came out, and I know at least two people here on this panel haven't actually seen it yet. So we're gonna try to avoid campaign discussion as much as possible, but with multiplayer, of course, and just things we've seen from like trailers and promotions and things like that. There's plenty to talk about regardless. So one of the first things that I wanted to throw out there to you guys, that's had me personally been thinking a lot. How has Halo Infinite attempted to recapture what made Halo 3 or Halo Reach so special? And if you guys want,
does anyone take the floor?
I was hesitating because I thought we were all going to start talking over each other.
Same, then no one talked.
No, it's all good. If you guys want, I can get the conversation going, and then you guys just jump in.
Well, I mean, I have something to add. If I can.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think a big thing that like Halo Infinite has done that like not that at least I haven't felt a lot of Halos have done recently is like flood the public eye with Halo stuff, right? It's not just about the game. Yeah. I feel like they've really taken themselves into the consciousness of Xbox again, right? Like Halo during Halo 2 and Halo 3 used to be it was the mascot, right? They were the brand of Microsoft. I think that's the first thing that stands out to me.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look at all the promotions they've had. Pringles,
Hot Pockets,
Hot Pockets, apparently.
Hot Pockets.
Like what?
Gosh, yeah, Butterfingers,
Trolley gummy worms,
gummy worms. Yeah,
worms. Oh, he's got them.
Yeah, I mean,
the Lay's Pringles.
Yeah, I mean, Master Chief is getting his face on everything people eat. Apparently,
isn't he in Fortnite too?
Yes, and he's in Fortnite.
But who isn't? I'm in fucking Fortnite. Like, for all you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that wasn't The Rock. That was you. Got it.
It was me doing the face. I was
yeah, I'll throw the question over to you too, Gods. What has Halo Infinite so far? How has it made you think of like previous Halo games?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, right? Halo 2. I think I'm a little bit older than you guys, but Halo 2 was like a staple.
Oh
right?
yeah, I remember, absolutely.
You have like, pasta parties before the football game, right? The next day, and everybody would be playing Halo at the house that you were at.
Yeah.
You go to school the next day, they're talking about Halo. Everything revolved around that game. And then Call of Duty kind of came in the mix and took over for probably since Reach, right? Since 2010, 11, it kind of has the light. Yep. And I think what they really did well here was they took a break after Halo 5. They've let a few years go by. They really put effort into this. I mean, they put effort into the teabag mechanic. So that's how you know that they're listening to what we actually cared about.
Yeah.
And time to polish it up. Now, is it perfect? No, right? We don't have Forge yet. We don't have co-op on campaign. There's things that are missing. But what has come out so far with the multiplayer and the campaign itself, I'm not going to get into details, but it feels good. It feels like Halo. I mean, just the
absolutely.
I'm not going to say anything to ruin it, but there are features in it that remind you so much of those original like Halo 2, Halo 3 campaigns, and it just feels good. It just feels good.
Yeah, and I especially feel like with the art style of the game, they've really tried to go back. You have the red and blue elites. You have even Master Chief himself looks more so like he did in Halo 3 versus how he looked in the later Halos like Halo 4 and Halo 5. And you know what I mean, just even if you just look at the cover of the game of Halo Infinite, it's very reminiscent of Halo Combat Evolved. Master Chief standing there front and center. You've got the Halo ring behind him, or you know, he's on the ring, and it's just, yeah, I mean, they're really just throwing nostalgia our way. And I think that has worked, especially for people like us that, you know,
totally.
we've grown up with Halo, and
we've waited for this moment.
That's
been one of those things where
thing.
4 was like, all right, guys, you okay? 4,
Yeah.
like you okay? Like it was okay, but
it was a different game that wore the Halo skin.
Yeah,
right. That's kind of how.
And then
goes.
Halo
Absolutely.
5 was like, where are the textures?
Wait,
Yeah.
they made a 5?
wait, Halo 5 was a thing?
Yeah, there's a 5.
So I just grabbed my copy of Halo 2, and I'm trying to get in the light here. But if that doesn't look like the Master Chief we're seeing right now,
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, no,
it
does.
totally is.
Totally.
no, it really does.
Yeah, that's exactly the.
So can I bring up something else? I think.
Oh yeah,
that,
go for it.
I think Halo 2. Well, so Halo 2 was huge because it pioneered the Xbox Live feature, right? That was a big thing for them.
Yeah, Xbox Live launched with Halo 2.
Yeah, and so I think because nothing, I don't really think that Halo Infinite has attached itself to something that's like that. But
it has, though.
Oh, has it?
It has.
Whoa.
Because think about it this way. Yeah. Dude, you okay? It's about to be Final
Big
Destination.
big effort. I know. I'm getting like, sorry guys, I'm in Baghdad right now. I'm getting shot at.
But what
Keep
Halo
going,
Infinite has done is Halo Infinite has now bridged the worlds of PC and Xbox. So before Xbox
yes.
That's a
Live
good point.
was like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's a really good
bridging
point.
everyone together, and now Halo Infinite's bringing even more people together, and they're saying bye-bye PlayStation, but you know, it's a whole other
Yeah, they've always done that. Halo's
yeah.
never been on PlayStation.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's a
Yeah.
really good point. I mean, you know, Microsoft, they created Windows. They own that, and they own
Yeah.
Xbox. So they're like, hey, let's pull these people together. You know, better for matchmaking. You know, more likely to find players, and you can have people, you know, cross-platform. Now you've got PC players able to play with Xbox, vice versa.
And you've
you know,
never been able to get this tilted in a Halo game before. I mean, the anger and frustration playing
Oh,
against
yeah.
PC players.
The sweat is
my
strong.
gosh.
The sweat is
Yeah.
strong with this Halo. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's also part of it too. Is it's like the gameplay. I think the gameplay of Halo feels. At first, I was very like, oh, okay, this feels different than a Halo game. Obviously for mechanical reasons, but
Mhm.
you know, like they have grappling hooks and all that crap. But I feel like it plays, while different than a Halo, it still captures something that's very uniquely Halo that I almost can't even put like a word to.
On it. Honestly, I feel like it's still very much, even the grappling hook, I feel like we would have gotten that eventually anyways. We've pretty much had equipment
This
since
feels
3.
natural.
It
Yeah.
does. It is a natural
Yes.
evolution for Halo. Absolutely.
Yeah. Rather
kind
than
of
like
funny.
Halo 4 or 5 being
Mhm.
weird, you know,
Yeah.
unnatural.
Point to bring up too is I know you mentioned PC and Xbox, but if you've actually looked at the statistics for accuracy, people using controllers are actually having higher accuracy than PC players right now, which just shows you that they thought that through and they actually aim. It's a little in favor of controllers right now, so I'm sure there's going to be adjustments down the road.
I
but
hope
they
not.
just open it up, letting dominate like they did in War, right? It's really more fair. But I think it's faster paced. That's the difference. You know, with the equipment that they have, the grappling hook, the ability to move around the map faster is just making the speed of play speed up. I remember
it's crazy.
able to camp for 5 minutes in the same tower and just hang out. And in this game, you can't. You have to keep moving. You rotate.
It's all movement. Yep.
Oddball has become more of a living hell than it was before.
Oh my god!
Out of nowhere,
yeah.
you can get grapple
honestly.
hooked by somebody or repulsed off the ledge, and you're dead.
And it comes down to map design too. Like, there's no, you can't run into a room and just camp in there. Like, every room has like at least 2 to 3 different doors.
Okay, I was about to
it's kind of a little bit more Call of Duty.
What's the map that it's like a training ground and they have the tower?
It was like the
Live Fire?
first. It was the beta map.
Live Fire. Yeah, Live Fire. Great example of that. I remember our first like oddball rank game. It was like, oh, the tower's the perfect camping spot. No, it was not.
Yeah,
Not at all.
there is no optimal spot to just hang out. I think they really thought about every map and thought about every which way you could play it. And I mean, it doesn't feel like there's any other optimal strategies and just you change up, adapt.
Mhm.
You got to keep adapting. You got to keep moving. You have to use the equipment. I think one thing, again, me and Prez haven't played campaign yet. We're waiting, but I know Garrett, you mentioned something interesting that was like the weapons. The weapons are designed specifically for campaign, and so in multiplayer, there's a situational aspect to like using these certain weapons that may be missing. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that that's like in play at all with multiplayer? That the weapons are like.
I'll kind of tell these guys what we were talking about. Peyton and I were talking about. I was telling them how when playing the Halo Infinite campaign. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything. When you're using all these different guns, you actually feel like they have a specific purpose. In the multiplayer, I always felt like, oh, like what's the point of the Mangler? Like why do I need this gun? It's pointless. But then in the campaign, I'm like, oh, like this is really good for this. Whereas in the multiplayer, you're always just fighting Spartans that all have the same health, unless they have an overshield or something.
You mean like how in Combat Evolved, like you would always want to have the Magnum with you specifically for hunters?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I feel like playing campaign has also made me kind of understand the multiplayer a little bit better. And yeah, I thought that was a really interesting thing. It seems like 343 has really designed their weapons for specific uses, and it's going to take some time, I guess, to really find all those uses in the multiplayer, but I definitely think there's something larger at play here, and I'm excited to see the multiplayer evolve, because I think as they keep adding stuff and keep tweaking, I mean, it's only been out for not even a month. There's still a long way they have to go, and I'm excited to see, the kinds of things that they're going to add to it. Actually, and that brings me to another thing. How does the multiplayer also feel more so like traditional Halo than like Halo 5 or something like that? Nico, go ahead.
I actually wanted to bring that up because something that Peyton said earlier was it feels like a different game. I actually felt the opposite. When I picked up that controller for the first time in one of the flights, I was like, this is Halo through and through.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel it's like a modern evolution of where the FPS genre in general is going, but at the same time, it just felt natural. It felt like I was playing Halo 3, but it was released today. You know what I mean?
Could say that
was my instant
evolved.
reaction.
Yes.
Mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
The combat evolved.
Anyway,
like everything from the way the weapons feel and sound to just movements, the sprinting, the aiming. I can't believe they got the ADS so perfect. It's such a small thing that you wouldn't even think about, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels like it captured the spirit of Halo perfectly, and it just feels good to play.
I agree with you, Nico. I think that it's not so much that it feels like a different game so much as it feels like, and that's what I was saying with like, it has captured something that is very, almost unspeakably Halo. It's very, I can't even put like a word to what you would call that Halo factor other than that. It's just that there's a Halo-ness to the game. But at the same time, with new mechanics coming in, with new guns, with a new kind of feel to the movement style that's like, inspired from Halo 5, but is, not as bad as Halo 5. It feels like a new Halo game, but it feels like a Halo game. That's the thing.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like, oh, this is a new Halo game that is wearing the skin of a Halo. That's got Master Chief, it's got elites, but it's its own.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first Halo game I've actually enjoyed the sprinting in. I don't sprint in 4 and 5. Or reach, really, because I never used sprint. But
you have an armor building for it in reach.
The attention to detail that they did too with certain aspects of the game. My favorite thing right now is the weapon spawning. How they don't just randomly into the map. You know when they're coming. And I think that was so big. If you guys remember back to Halo 3, Halo Reach, especially in big team battle situations, you would have players in your team that would sit in one spot and wait for a rocket launcher spawn or a Banshee to spawn. And they wouldn't be helping. They would just sit there and wait for it because they just wanted that aspect.
Yeah.
Small little detail. Nobody does that anymore because they're like, oh, I still have 3 minutes till the sniper spawns. Let me just go do something else now. And everybody's more participating in the fight. So little attention. They looked back at what they could have fixed, and I think they did a better job.
Yeah,
and you know what?
Previous Halos as inspiration, absolutely.
Yes, and you know what? I think that brings up a really interesting point, which is like, I think never before in a Halo game has there been so Halo, especially when we're talking about special weapons or like special spawns of any kind, that's like meta knowledge, right? You have to understand, you gain a significant advantage by having meta understanding of a map in any Halo game. But with things like the AI component that you have now, where you can hit a button and it's going to let you know where your abilities are going to spawn, where the special weapon is going to spawn. Like you said, you know how much time is coming before the rocket launcher spawns. You get a heads up.
You can
right?
unlock
like,
rooms with your AI.
Yeah. And so where you gain access to special weapons or abilities. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of evened the playing field, I think, for players who don't have that meta knowledge or who maybe aren't saying to themselves, I need to learn where the spawn points are for these different weapons. I think the other thing too is that it makes it more of a, you know, I see players like never before in a Halo game jumping after a sniper and fighting each other just to get this special weapon, right? Because now everybody kind of knows where they're at. In another Halo game, it was like, whoa, where'd that guy get that sniper rifle from? He just got 5 kills. Or where, you know, where's the rocket launcher spawn on this map? I have no idea, but that guy knows. And now, you know, our team is getting dicked. So I think it's really that the fact that they tackle something like that and you know, they could have said no. They could have not even thought about it. But you know, that's huge. But still very classically Halo. They didn't change the fact that, like, you know, special weapons are going to spawn. They're going to give you an advantage. You're going to have to fight over them. They have limited ammo. So it's like, it's still Halo. It's just modified. It feels very like it's a natural progression, I think.
It feels so good not having classes.
Yeah.
You spawn with and can modify.
Yeah.
I mean, I do miss just having plasma grenades on standby 24/7. Stock.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
that
what
is true.
Very different though is the vehicles. The vehicles, the way they function, especially the Warthog and the Mongoose, you rip and you flip. You have to really, like, you got to practice that. It's not the same as it really is different, and good drivers make a difference in big team battle right now.
Oh yeah.
Actually knows how to drive that. You're getting a lot more kills than the guy that's driving into the wall. You know, really.
I used to be great with the Warhog and Reach and 3 and all that, and it's light as a feather. You hit a little pebble and the car flips.
Yeah. And let's talk about the Ghosts. I mean, oh my god, dude, that is like one of the most OP. Man. Yeah, it's
I feel like they might nerf it a little bit. I feel like they might have to, because it kills really fast.
It does. It does feel a little OP, like in minute gameplay.
It's more maneuverable than it used to be. It didn't used to pivot as fast. It didn't used to back up as fast. It's way more maneuverable now than it used to be. That's the difference. If it goes, they rotation a little bit, and you can't lock onto your target as quick. That's gonna set it apart with the other ones.
The thing is, though, now we have a lot more ways to counter vehicles with the electric grenades to stun them, with the grapple to grapple jack.
The skewer.
Hijacking in general is just a bit easier now.
Hashtag. I want that back.
Hashtag what?
A plasma pistol. It doesn't take down.
Dude.
The shock grenades and I think the shock rifle can do it too, right?
And then, and the bolt shot also, the little brute handgun. If you've hit it
the disruptor.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So that's kind of interesting, because it's like they kept the same function in the game, right? Weapons or something that disables vehicles. They could have just gotten rid of it, and that's what I thought they did at first. I was like, man, that's bad. But they actually added more ways for you to take out vehicles. You're more likely to find a weapon that has the ability to take out a vehicle now, because you'll find shock grenades or a shock rifle or a disruptor or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's different. It's different, and it's the same in a very natural way. And I think that thinking back to the initial days of Halo 2 on Xbox Live, I feel like the competitiveness, the feeling of like teamwork and really getting into the hype of Halo is back. I mean, I've never felt more hyped playing Halo multiplayer than when I jump in, play with you guys. Like it brings me all the way back.
Oh yeah. And I mean, how many games have we played where we win or lose by 1 point, like 49 to 50? Like, I mean, it happens. I feel like it happens so much in this game, because it's like, you have to have teamwork. Like, I mean, you absolutely have to. I can always tell when I'm playing against a team where they're all in a squad.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you can tell immediately, just because, I mean,
that's kind of like an interesting thing is like, I've played a lot of, Call of Duty in the meantime, and they're really embracing that skill-based matchmaking thing. Even in that, I've never really played with equals. I've always either just dominated or been destroyed.
Yeah.
In this, we get games consistently where we are evenly matched to the very, very end.
Yeah. And then it's like one or two smart plays that end up making the game. And that's how it should be. I mean, that's really how I think that this game is going to thrive, is like by giving you that experience of like of getting you hooked into it, man. Like I remember when we were first playing the beta of this game, it was like the whole world dropped away. I wasn't even in my room anymore. It was just me talking with the game, me playing the game and talking with the guys and just trying to do good. And not in a way that's, I think battle royales have kind of brought a little bit of that into, I think we found that that's a mechanic, or that's what's the word I'm looking for? A game mode that kind of naturally breeds that like
sweat
focus. Sweat, focus, immersion, whatever you want to call it. But like just being able to jump into quick play on Halo with a squad of 4 and like not even being ranked and be met with a serious game that envelops me. I haven't really played a multiplayer like that yet.
Yeah, no, if only we could change our game types. That's the only thing that's a fucking
right. I know. I'm so mad about that, dude.
MCC did it so well, and now it's not in this. Why?
What the reasoning is behind it?
Oh, I haven't. No. Did they talk about that?
They released a statement on the reason that there's no just Slayer-based game type is because then nobody would play the objective game types.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Diversifying the like skill pool, right? So that nobody's just playing one.
Yeah, well, and in the Master Chief Collection, they're grouped up. They have like I forget what do they even call it? It's like there's a game type that you click on where it has multiple of like oddball and stockpile.
Isn't it Action Sack?
Action Sack, yeah, that's one of them. And then they have like they have another one that's like capture like
flag and bomb.
Flag and bomb. So it's like you get multiple different objective game types in one group, and I think that could work for them specifically, because if they did have just oddball, people probably aren't going to pick that.
I mean, we used shoddy ranked. You were just ranked on shoddy snipes, like that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
And that's all I would play because that's what I enjoyed. So I do think they need to really start to cater a little bit more to like niches, because
absolutely.
Flag guy.
SWAT is huge. I love.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, like, if you jump into the MCC and you play a game of SWAT, you're more likely to land a team that only plays that game type, and you're gonna have to be ready to play against people who like that's all they play is Halo 4 SWAT or Halo Reach Contamination or something like that. And I think it's about striking the balance, right? Like Garrett, I think you're talking about something specific with like the bringing in playlist. Maybe you don't have to make a full game type selection filter where you can pick every little thing.
Yeah, honestly, like I'd appreciate just let us vote again. That's all I want.
That too.
Yes, that would be awesome. Like, hey, we can either bring in a voting system where it's like you get put up against, you have Slayer on this map, and then you've got Oddball on this map, or Contamination on this map, and then it's like the lobby picks.
And eventually they just delete Oddball because no one would play.
Let's just get rid of Oddball. Let's turn this into the Get Rid of Oddball episode.
Yeah.
Get rid of Oddball. Bring the OG Carbine back. It's that.
Throw some portals in there, and
no. This isn't Splitgate. No. Splitgate has that. That's the one thing they have.
Yep. So I think maybe another question that's kind of coming to my mind is like, I'm thinking right now as we're kind of reminiscing about when I was playing Halo 3. Halo 3 was like my Halo 2. That was the first game I ever got on an Xbox. That was the first multiplayer game I ever played. It was my first M game. Right. So it was like, oh my God, I felt like a big kid, it had this epic campaign and this epic music. And I was, just so every time I opened it up, I was hyped. It felt like I was jumping into an adventure.
Yeah.
Do you think, and I know that like, you know, we've decided not to really talk about campaign at all, but like, yeah, I felt like you just had to jump into the lobby of Halo 3 to be like, whoa, this is going to be an epic game. Do you guys think that Halo Infinite has captured a little bit of that? If we're talking, you know, how reminiscent it is.
If you play the campaign, you will 100% get that feeling.
Okay.
You will, and just the
you will
scene and the first mission, you're going to get it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And see, I think that's what everybody was hoping for. Yeah. Right. I mean, I think everybody here and everybody out there who's listening is hoping like, we want a Halo that's capturing that. You know, you want to be excited to come home and pop into that story and be Master Chief and, you know, take down some fucking Covenant on a LAN party eating pizza with your buddies.
Banished.
Banished. Yeah.
Banished. The small changes that Halo Infinite is kind of implementing with certain things that we're kind of unsure about. I remember going from Halo 2 to Halo 3 and thinking the same thing. Like the equipment with the bubble. Yeah. I remember all that stuff. I was like, I don't know if I like this. This is weird. Months down the road, I couldn't picture the game without it. So I think that Halo Infinite's going to have a few speed bumps, but as long as they keep, like 343 keeps putting in the effort that they've been putting in to make sure they're delivering what we actually want, I don't think we're going to have a problem. They're definitely not trying to force anything. They're listening.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
When do you guys think we're going to get a Halo Soulsborne game?
Never. I mean, supposedly, if you played on Legendary, it's pretty close because you face some. I haven't seen too much of the campaign. The only thing I watched is from Green Skull because I know he doesn't spoil. The hunters apparently on Legendary are like impossible to kill.
I feel like they're always really like. I feel like hunters always get the biggest upgrade when going to Legendary in a lot of Halo games.
But like normally, you know, with like Halo 3 or Reach, 2 or 3 rocket shots would take them down. No.
Well, maybe what they did is they channeled a little bit. I know in Halo 5, that was, I thought, the one thing that Halo 5 really, like, there's a couple things I thought Halo 5 actually did do well. And I know that it's news to some people here that Halo 5 was even a thing. But I think that one thing that they really nailed was, like, the hunters in that game were scary. They were like mini bosses almost. They weren't even like just regular, okay, we're coming down a corridor and, you know, we got some brutes and then there's 2 hunters and we got to deal with those. It was like, I just jumped into a room and now there's hunters chasing after me. This is scary. And so if they bring that into Halo Infinite, even if it's just like, oh, the hunters are regular and then on Legendary, they're really scary. I don't mind that. I like that. I think that hunters are supposed to be kind of like mini bosses or, you know, elite mobs or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But I think when it comes to, I don't know, is there anything with like enemies or guns that you think is you know, I know a big thing with Halo 3 was just the enemy feeling, having chieftains and having like the flood be how they are. And I know I'm seeing God. Yeah.
Speaking of the
I'm being
flood.
flooded by the grace of Yahweh. I'm just gonna get down low. What do you guys think who have played campaign? How's it feeling?
Yeah, so there's in the first mission, I'm not going to give any spoilers. In the first mission, there's a part of it, a section of it that you can tell they intentionally tried to give you a little bit of like a sense of, I don't know, like you're not in the position of power. Like you are about to get wrecked in a way.
Yeah.
It's not a major moment, but you can tell it was intentional and you can tell they want you to have that feeling like Master Chief is not the biggest guy in the room. So you got to play smart.
Interesting.
You'll know when it happens when you get to that point. But I think that the villain aspect in this game, and I've only played the first campaign mission so far. I'm actually, after this, I'm going to hop on and play a couple more, but the villain game is probably one of my favorites so far. It really is. Like they did a good job with the fear factor for sure.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And we had, you know, we before we got to the podcast summit, I think me, Garrett, and Nico, Nick, you might have been there. We were all talking about like
everybody but me. We're clear.
Pretty much.
Guys.
I actually think we were talking about this before we met you. You know, anyway, I think we had a conversation about like what would be the next step of a villain in the Halo series, and like what is needed. I know again we're talking about campaign stuff right now, so we can Garrett push it another way if you want to push another way. But
no, it's all right.
I hear from everything that I've again I don't even know a lot about the Banished. I've really decided to be under a rock with all the Halo stuff lately until I play that campaign.
Yeah, we should play Halo Wars 2 before we play.
Maybe.
Yeah, it'll help a little bit. That's for sure.
But I hear that Atriox is like a good villain for this. Like they set him up to be a not just a villain that's like got Master Chief as the thorn in his side while he goes to tackle the objective of destroying mankind, but like a villain who's specifically targeting the main character and is therefore a good villain. And that's awesome. I think that like that was such a smart choice on their part of bringing him in and making him that villain. I think it's about time Master Chief got that, honestly.
Yeah, well, like I had thought so. Like, yeah, Atriox was the main villain in Halo Wars 2, and I thought he was gonna be like the brute that you see in all the marketing material for Halo Infinite. He actually has a different name. Do you remember his name, Gods? I'm trying to think of it. Yeah,
you completed the campaign, right?
I did. I actually finished it today. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I'm trying to remember the brute's name. You guys have seen him. He appears in every trailer. He's like the big baddie. He's like one of Atriox's like right-hand men or something like that. But yeah, he puts fear in you. Like when the way he talks down on Master Chief, like, I'm the hunter, you're the prey, like I'm coming after you. Like it's like, oh, okay. But like it's really cool. They definitely, I think, and again, everything I'm saying is in trailers. If you've seen any Halo Infinite trailers, you've seen this guy. Like he is the kind of villain to where you said you can think to yourself, oh shoot, Master Chief has really met his match with this guy. Which is awesome. It's just it feels very refreshing, and I think that's what Halo Infinite has set out to do with both campaign and multiplayer. It has just set out to be something, more of a return to form, but it's also not forgetting its past. A lot of people didn't like Halo 5, but the ability to clamber came from Halo 5. So, and that is a very nice feature to have in Infinite. So they've really taken, I think, all the good from all the past Halo games and have really tried to use them in the best way possible in Halo Infinite.
So I kind of a little question. I don't know if this is lore wise. It's kind of lore wise. So maybe skip over it if you want.
That's okay.
But I remember hearing some of the marketing for Infinite being almost like a soft reboot. Is the stuff that happened in like Halo 5 still canon? Like, are we continuing from that story directly?
I will just simply say this to not give away anything. You see little sprinkles of the things that have happened in past Halo games, so you do know this is a continuation of Halo 5. But it is definitely like you could understand 90% of this game probably without having played any previous Halo. It is very much its own self-contained story. Gotcha. But you do see little mentions of this person or this event or, little things like that. But this is a game that's meant to be almost like God of War was back in 2018. Like, this is a game that's very much meant to introduce new people and without having to have played previous Halo games to really be able to understand it and get into it.
That's very cool.
Right? It's next generation. That's what it is.
It is, and it's a platform too. 343 wants to, keep updating Halo Infinite for the next 10 years. This is going to be like their game, which I hope also means we
Destiny.
Get yes, a little. Hopefully not too much like Destiny. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, we already got the shaders.
This is true. This is very true.
I'm gonna be honest. If they pull like. You all, Gods, you don't, but these three know my opinions on Destiny. And if they try pulling any of the turn your disc in and get the DLC for $40, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And I will never return to Halo.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do campaign expansions, like story DLCs.
That would be
because
nice.
I actually have played all of both Destiny's story expansions, and I thought they were actually part of the best part. They were one of the better things of the game, just because they added so much to the story. So,
did you trade your disc in for those?
No, actually, they were included with Xbox Game Pass, so I didn't have to pay anything extra, which is nice.
Free promo for Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah,
I was about to say, podcast
I'm not sponsored by Microsoft, but there you go, Xbox Game Pass.
What do you guys? How do you guys feel, since we were kind of right at that point of referencing, Destiny and like the bad that a video game can be? Because let's be real, we should be, completely honest. Halo Infinite,
that was one of my topics. I was gonna say Infinite has had some good and bad. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the bad. It's had a rocky launch.
Talk about the bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's had a unique launch is the main thing. They launched a beta. They launched the game early in the cover of a beta, but then it was really when the campaign came out, it was just the campaign.
Yeah,
there was nothing new for the multiplayer. No new.
They called it absolutely, yeah. They called it a beta so they could iron out some of the bugs with player feedback right out of the gate.
Yeah,
and of course, the first thing they did was the battle pass. Added, They
added
XP for finishing games.
From releasing the beta to releasing the full game, they definitely did, flush out. I mean, the battle pass now is actually like playable. Like you actually earn shit if you play the game.
Yes, the battle pass was horrible.
Do you remember? It was like you had to do the challenges to level up the battle pass, so you could play like 8 hours and go up like one level.
Yeah, I actually played. What was it?
You probably have the most hours.
I played several games. I wasn't paying attention to the challenges, and I did not. My battle pass did not move at all.
Yeah,
and that was extremely upsetting.
Yeah, and I think it's important for games that do have battle passes to encourage like task completion. I think that makes it worthwhile, right?
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I think it should be an augmented boost. I think that players who complete challenges should get rewarded more, but I don't think that players who just want to play multiplayer games should be left out of be forced to like complete these specific task challenges.
It kills the whole point of the sandbox that Halo is.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do honestly, if they were gonna do challenges, I wish they would just bring back like some Vidmasters.
I was talking with Garrett about that, dude. Yeah,
like stuff where you don't have to do it, but if you do it,
they were worth 0 gamer score. You remember that?
Yeah, I know. They were 0. You didn't do it for the gamer score. You did it for the recon.
You did it for recon. And you also did to say that you did it. I mean, holy shit. Those were some difficult tasks to complete. And I don't think I've definitely played games where there have been difficult achievements or difficult challenges, but I have yet to play a game where it's like, hey, in our challenge pool, of in-game challenges or of achievements, we have like 3 or 4, 5 or so that are really, really stinking difficult. And if you do them, you get a little something special that everybody wants.
Yeah.
I haven't, I think Halo Infinite would be ripe for that, especially with the open campaign.
Yeah, open world campaign.
With the way that the multiplayer is, because there were some multiplayer Vidmasters from Halo where it was like you had to play on this specific day, you had to get this many kills.
You had to make lieutenant in Halo 3.
You had to reach a specific rank on the ranked competitive playlist by a specific day of the month or something like that. And then if you messed up, you had to wait a month.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a
like
great
they could
challenge.
Easily make it like, hit platinum 2.
Yeah, and I don't think that I think
Halo, I'm already there, so
you bastard. I'm
shut up.
So.
I think that I think that they totally did the ranking system right for ranked play. I think they knocked it out of the park with that. It does not feel like it's impossible to raise up your rank.
It just goes very slowly.
Very slowly.
It's not impossible, but it goes very slow.
Are you talking about your ranked, like your ranked playlist ranking?
Yeah.
Because I disagree.
No,
I haven't budged from gold 3.
No. What I'm saying is I think it's too easy to rank up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
no,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. So when I was playing with Bast of Mouth a little while ago, we were doing ranked, right? We had a couple good games, and it took me from like plat 3 to like just barely almost plat 4. And then we lost like 6 or 7 in a row. A couple of them just getting absolutely wrecked, like negative KDs, just horrendous games. And I went down to maybe halfway to rank 4.
Yeah, no,
like, I barely lost anything.
So that's
I've noticed that too.
I do agree with that. I think that they could do a little bit better with. I think.
Oh wait, that was the other thing is going like ranking up was way too easy. Like getting from like say like halfway to almost the next rank, 1-2 games.
Bro, I've been stuck to
going
silver
down back
weeks.
to halfway.
What are you talking
like
about?
7 games lost.
Yes,
it is way too. It's not only too easy to rank up. It's also like you're not losing enough. You're not being punished enough. Or maybe that's not the right way to say that, but you know what I mean.
It's
going to
I think
inflate.
That's the right way to say it.
There's not really
ranks.
Consequences for doing
Exactly.
bad. I do agree with that.
There's not consequences for being bad. What I will say about the easiness of ranking up is you still have to go through like 6 rungs on a given echelon, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to go, if you want to get from gold to platinum, you have to go from gold 1 or wherever you landed up to platinum or up to gold 6 and then complete that and then you get to platinum. So rather than just like, okay, you go from gold to platinum to then onyx or something. I do think
lose a rank. Like, can you like do so badly you lose the progress and then actually go down a rank? I don't know if
that's the thing. I don't know.
You can. I was playing with Bast of Mouth maybe 2 hours ago. He got up to diamond for the first time.
Wow.
And then we lost the next game and he dropped back down. So
so it is possible. Oh wow.
Gotcha.
Okay. I did not know that.
He specifically said, "Thanks gods, I hate you." That's how I remember.
I was diamond for a second. You fuck.
For one game.
Well, did you guys hear what the if you reach onyx the reward is?
Is there a reward?
Yeah, you get a recon helmet weapon charm.
Ooh,
that's kind of like a Vidmaster almost.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
You get a fucking keychain in a game.
But it's recon.
But
it's recon.
Yeah. What was that, Gods?
Yeah.
It's like getting recon off of wish.com is what it is.
Yes. Yes.
Wish for recon. It should have been.
God.
Yeah.
Well, so here, my thing is, it's like you've got right now in most games, it's either one or the other. It's either ranked as like this way or ranked as like in Apex Legends, where, good luck getting up to Apex. Good luck. You got to be world class. And I think that there needs to be a happy medium that's reached, right? I think you have to have, I like the idea of in any ranking system, having a really difficult to get to echelon that is only for the best of the best. I'm never going to be in it, but it's nice to know that like, well, I'm playing a legitimate ranking system rather than, I don't know if I would agree with Nico on like the, how easy it is, but it's definitely, I would say it's easy. It is the easiest ranking system I've played in a first person shooter.
I think the ranking system needs to curve. And what I mean by that is lower ranking you are, the lower ranked you are, you should be able to excel faster. So if you start out like bronze, I don't even know if that's the lowest one, whatever the lowest tier is, you should be able to get out of there really quickly. But once you get towards that platinum, that diamond, that onyx, it should become more difficult to rank up and it should also rank down. So that you kind of get that happy medium, and then those elite players really do push past everybody else.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
I like that.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Because then it's not even just about like playing. It's not even just about like, okay, I'm playing against better players because I have good stats. It's then about I have to play more. I have to get more wins. I have to play better, more like consistently against better players consistently to then get to that next level. So I like that. I think that would be a great idea for them to do. It strikes the medium. And I think, I don't know if I would consider the rank that easiness of ranking right now like a bad aspect of the game. I would say, connecting back to what we talked about earlier, I think one negative aspect of the game for sure is like the specificity of weapon usage, right? Like because you are playing with weapons that are specific to certain scenarios that are in campaign, and that, you know, I don't know. I haven't even played the campaign, and I definitely know like there's weapons that I won't use unless I have to use them, because they're just not optimal.
Style on some idiots.
Yeah, or complete a challenge or something.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing different is that the assault rifle used to be trash, so you wanted to get rid of it immediately for anything else. You know, a needler,
a plasma pistol.
Yeah. Exactly. the plasma pistol combo is a real thing, right? So nowadays, it's almost like the assault rifle is actually pretty darn good. So
totally. Oh, I get most of my kills with it.
Honestly, same with the battle rifle. The battle rifle got fucking buffed.
Oh, right? Totally.
Unless you trade up for a BR or a sniper, I don't really feel the need to trade the assault rifle for anything. You know, maybe either if you're up close, you know, but other than that, it works. So there's no need for other weapons. So either they need to nerf the assault rifle or buff some of these other strange weapons that don't have as much all-around purpose.
Yeah. And it's tricky because it's like some of them, I don't know how you would make them better other than, or make them more usable in multiplayer other than changing how they play, right? Like the Mangler,
the carbine is gutter trash, my guy.
The carbine, oh my god,
no one
like
uses that.
We could literally spend the next 15 minutes just talking about all that's wrong with the carbine in this game.
It's not the carbine, it's the pulse rifle from Reach, and they just called it the carbine.
Yeah, it's like the pulse rifle's inbred cousin. It's gross. It's not. It's sluggy. It doesn't. I mean, it's. I think the tracking effect is kind of neat. Like the fact that it tracks. I mean, but then you've got. I don't know. Then you've got another
very slowly.
The U.S.
makes it hard to get a kill.
The U.S. Postal Office can deliver a package faster than that fucking bullet hits.
Yes, seriously, it is that slow. It's like just mail me the bullet. Just mail it to me.
Just mail me the bullet. Yeah.
The first one's only halfway there.
Yeah.
I know. It's I mean, it gives enemies a lot of time to get behind cover.
Or run behind a corner, then the shots miss, and I'm like,
and it's a burst. You got to wait. You have lag. And I mean, I think having guns that do have the like alternate fire modes and stuff like that's really cool. I think it also brings back a classic element of Halo, which is like not relying on ADS a whole lot, firing from the hip, right? Having guns that have alternate fire modes that uses your zoom button that don't have a dedicated zoom. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I love that.
Do you think all guns should have it, or?
I don't know about all guns, because Borderlands 3 did it where like almost every gun has an alternate fire, and it's honestly most of them you never use.
Yeah, it's definitely like a gun that.
Sorry, for example, I think I would like it a lot better if the horizontal version of that gun you're referring to, I can't name. Thank you. Maybe if the horizontal version did more damage to vehicles and the vertical version did more damage to players, so it had a functional.
Yeah, that'd be cool, because I never use the horizontal mode unless I'm anticipating missing my shots. I mean, I'll use the vertical because all of those bullets, if I align it with a target, they're all going to hit that one player and it's going to do more damage. If you use the horizontal, it doesn't really provide much more. The bullets don't spread out for crowds, like that. I guess they go in like a consistent. Yeah, kind of, but
needs a purpose. It doesn't really have one.
I mean, exactly.
I can see president using it because he can't aim, so he needs
at least
but like, you know, besides those, if you're sweaty, you're. So.
Funny enough, I thought that same thing, but I was like, I won't roast myself. So I'm glad you got my back, gods. Thanks.
Yeah, you know, I don't really know. I mean, okay, so what do you guys think about them canning the whole Promethean thing? What do you think about that? Do you think that's a negative or do you think that's a positive?
I think it's a negative. I wanted Forerunner shit so bad.
Yeah,
I know.
Different toward it.
They did. Truthfully, they did put a sour taste in your mouth with 4, and I don't know if it was in 5 because I played 5 once and it was for the campaign, and then it's
a lot like 4. You fight a lot of Prometheans.
Yeah. Okay.
4 same enemies. A little more, I think.
Yeah. Like I personally I thought the guns are really cool. The Heat Wave actually gives me a big Promethean vibe. With its like whole look and like the kind of like colors it shoots, you know, it has
Cinder
that, like,
Shot
red.
Reminds me too.
Yeah. Yeah, those give me like Promethean vibes, but I wanted them. There was so much more to explore with that like lore and story and everything. And I feel like they went back and were like, oh, let's go back to the Covenant. Like it didn't work well. And it's not that the story elements didn't work well, it's that the game was just trash.
The story elements, new guns are like banished. They're all banished weapons, so they're like supposed to be new and like brutes. So they're kind of a little rough around the edges,
a little trashy.
Am I the only one who like? Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead,
was just
Nico.
curious. There's something that came in my head. What's the concussion rifle from Reach? I want to say an elite weapon.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was a Covenant
because
weapon.
the Cinder Shot reminds me very heavily of the concussion rifle, but maybe
totally.
It's just brutified.
It's way better.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah, well, and I think the brutes adapted a lot of the Covenant weapons, especially the banished, because they have a lot of Covenant in their ranks, grunts and jackals and elites. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense that a lot of that technology and kind of like, I guess, style of the weapons would kind of move between the two factions. Am I the only person who likes the Sentinel beam?
No, I do. I've done some pretty cool
shit. It's very good if you know how to use it. I do not know how to use it.
I mean,
I don't know how to use it either, and so I hate it. I think it's gutter trash.
Well, see, the Sentinel beam is great for someone who can't aim. God said it. I just dead.
All I'm saying is that when people know how to use it, I've been wrecked, demolished.
Yeah, that's true, dude. When people literally laser beam,
and it is anti-vehicle for sure.
So
if you can track with it,
you
take a Banshee out in like a solid 7 seconds.
I was using
there is one weapon I have to talk about because it's part of every Halo game, and I think it's probably the most judged weapon in every Halo game, and that is the sniper rifle. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about.
Okay,
I've never been able to use it well, so I don't really have any good say. It requires high grade accuracy. We've all established that I'm more spray and pray guy on the turret type of tanky guy. So I got no
you do that
say.
pretty well,
That's
though. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Everybody needs their niche. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I've noticed, and I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't used the sniper all that much. But from what I can tell, it seems like it does shoot a little bit slower, but it seems to do a bit more damage. Is that right? Or I mean, it's still one shot to the head, but it's like body shots seem to do a little more.
What I found with it, it almost seems like the hit marker is bigger in this game, where I've gotten close to the head and not quite there, and it's still giving me.
And it registers, right? Yeah, it's almost like it's got a little bit of like an auto aim in there or something. Yeah, there might be like a very mild like auto aim going on or something. I don't know, but I've noticed that too. It didn't quite seem like I hit them in the head, but then I actually got the headshot, and I was like, oh. Okay.
It's definitely slower. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but Garrett, you just said. I mean, it's definitely slower. I've noticed that. I think that's for the best.
Yeah, because you really have to make sure those shots count.
Exactly, and it kind of it eliminates the again, like we were talking about with the game playlists. I think when someone just decides to get really good with that sniper, when they pick it up, man, if they know how to fire it off, they can just boom, 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 boom. And I think it kind of puts a little dampener on that, which I think is fine. The other thing too, that the sniper talk is reminding me of, what do you think about this? A lot of Halo games have we've got the UNSC version of guns, and then we've got the Covenant version of guns, and there's similarities, right? So you've got the carbine and the DMR, or the carbine and the battle rifle, depending on the game that you're playing. You've got plasma pistol magnum. You've got assault rifle, plasma rifle, right? There's they're variants. There's just a little tweak. But I feel like
doesn't
in this
have
game,
a plasma rifle, does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't think so. Which is actually really interesting. I hadn't noticed that until now. But
I know. I was like, wait a minute.
Missing.
There's no plasma rifle, and
no plasma
that's
rifle,
weird.
no plasma repeater or anything like that. Yeah, I know that is really weird, and I can't believe I hadn't noticed that until just now.
Yeah, I know. I just realized that too. It is 7:30, guys, so we'll wrap up this conversation. Sure. And then I'll let you guys go.
I want to talk events, man. I got a lot to say.
Yeah. We can talk events. Let's go talk about events. What do you guys think about
now? We'll do it next
time.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up this episode talking about events. Absolutely. Go for it, Nico.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Take us off.
Bad stuff. Let's just end this on a horrible note, I guess.
We'll put a positive spin at the end.
Right,
Yeah, go ahead.
So for me, like I was going out of town that weekend when the Tenrai event dropped. So the second it did, I binged the whole thing that day. I completed the battle pass or what I could. I completed all the weekly challenges. I even did the ultimate weekly all on the same night. The fact that I could do that and there was no reason to do anything else the rest of the event kind of sucks. The fact that you got one rank per like event challenge and they only gave you 7 of those, and that was like the hard limit. You could not progress. That's the fact that the 30 tier battle pass had, I forgot my math, like 14 actual items. The rest were double XP, and only like 8 of those were actual armor pieces.
Yeah, that's BS.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. I remember, Nico, you were telling me, you're like, dude, you need to at least do 3 challenges because the way they're doing this, you won't be able to complete the Tenrai Battle Pass if you don't do 3 challenges this week. And I was like, oh, shit.
I don't know if I was right about that.
I mean, I think you made a very accurate case. And unless they change it due to, player feedback, I feel like that's the way they would have gone with it.
It was the way they worded their announcement to it. They said it's coming back like 4 more times or 5 more times, something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if they meant like that would be like the total number of events, or if it's like 5 more additional after this week. If it was after this week, you could entirely ignore this week, but you had to play all the other ones.
Yeah. I
mean, if it was just the 5 total or whatever, you actually could not complete the battle pass without playing at least, I think it was like 3 challenges or 2 challenges this week, and then completing the entirety of the rest. The math worked out really weird, and it was very concerning.
And I hated how you couldn't just do the challenges for the event. You had to do regular battle pass challenges in like with that. That was annoying. I wish they would have made it a separate thing.
You couldn't just your challenges would load and be like 2 from the normal battle pass, 2 from the Tenrai. You're like, I'm just trying to get the Tenrai done. Damn it.
Yep.
Yeah. And the worst part, the absolute worst part, all that shit is pretty bad, right? I mean, we can agree on that. The worst part, all the cool shit was in the store. You could not earn the majority of the armor pieces and cosmetics.
They want your money.
Yeah.
It's a free to play game.
It's not a free event if the majority of the stuff they're releasing is in the store.
If I could pick, I'd have them charge everyone $60 and bring back old Halo. Microtransactions is what destroyed Destiny. Well, actually, no, Destiny still destroyed you with the DLC. Actually, okay. You know what? Feel like either way, they probably would have gone a little greedy and made it worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just think like they really need to look at player feedback on the events. And I mean, I think they need to look at player feedback with the entire game. That's a really important thing that I think they should do in them changing the battle pass. Yeah. Them changing the battle pass. That's huge. That's huge for me. But I think the thing with the events is, it's like they need to workshop that for sure.
If you gotta go, Chris, go ahead. We're gonna wrap up right now. Sorry to
interrupt. We're wrapping up.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Continue. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. I think Nico's point, the thing that pissed me off the most about it was that there were so many. If you're going to put out an event, and if you're going to make it like as
call it a free
restricted, call it a free event. But if you're going to make it as restricted as it is, and make all of the tiers mostly double XP, that's stupid.
Yep.
Dude, I didn't even get the armor core from the Tenrai event because like I kind of didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys knew. I didn't get the armor core because I was like, I have zero incentive to participate in those challenges.
The only piece of armor you would get.
Yeah. That's the
other 2 things were like emblems or something, and then all the rest was just challenges.
They need to have an elite set of armor that has to be earned. They have to put that in.
Yes.
Now listen, that armor will set you apart knowing that you didn't pay for that. There was no way to pay for it. You had to earn it. And then listen, you want to add other really cool random stuff that people can pay for to keep the game alive for the next 10 years, I'm good with that. But give us a standard to reach for. Give us something to work our asses for. And give us something to show off like, yo, I got this. You don't.
Yeah, I earned this. Like Recon 3, you earned it.
Recon. That's what Recon was. Is like that was the badge. That was like look at, not only did I go through like hell getting all the vidmasters and stuff, check it out. It's rare. Like most people don't have it. So you got the rarity incentive. You got the task incentive. You could not pay for it. It was not an option. Like it wasn't the case of like, even Apex has this happen sometimes where it's like, there's all these awesome legendary armor set or armors for characters. And then you can get this other really cool legendary armor for that character, but you can only buy it from the bundle. It's like, no, dude, make a kind of cool, maybe like epic tier armor or something for your characters, but make the awesome shit earnable. Make it only earnable.
Yes, absolutely.
Then it's worth something.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows that you put in the time, you played the game, and you have a trophy of sorts to show for it.
And if you're going to put in an event, in that you want people to work towards, don't give us trash rewards, dude.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to want to participate unless it's to just, there's going to be players who are just going to be like, well, it's an event, it's out, it's in a game I like, I'm going to complete it because it's there, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think most players aren't like that. Most players need an incentive that is beyond just the completion aspect.
Honestly, you guys know how I play video games. I get super addicted super quick, and I binge and I 100% and I like fully complete.
You are the completionist.
Yeah.
Some of my own challenges that are like stupidly hard, like getting one of every pearlescent in Borderlands 2. Like I will set those things for myself. I actually haven't touched Halo Infinite in a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Which is sad to say. Yeah, even when the campaign came out, I was like, I kind of want to play it, but I played like one round of survival and Warframe, and now I'm kind of back into that, and I don't really want to even touch it. I don't know. I just
that's just because Warframe exists.
I don't know if I burned myself out or if it's just I don't have an incentive to come back right now.
Yeah, well, hopefully they start bringing stuff in that will incentivize people to come back. Bring another event.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, like when Forge and co-op campaign come back, my god, dude, that's gonna be
Forge is gonna be so good.
Coming out on Forge, hopefully tomorrow, that shows everything that we know as of right now, including the leaked footage. And
sweet.
Based off some conversations that I've had with people that will not be named, we are in for the biggest treat. I think 343 is saving the best for last here, where we are doing things that have never been capable before, not just in Halo, but in any video game, from the standpoint of being able to create our own games within the game on such an extraordinary level. Like, if you're not pumped, you need to be, because it's going to be next level.
That would be, I mean, even if they made it close to what Halo, the one good thing about Halo 5, I will say, was the Forge. The Forge was insane in that game. And if they do anything even remotely close to that, I would be happy.
So imagine that Forge, and then it smokes crystal meth.
Okay.
It's crazy, man.
Wow.
It's bath salt's crazy.
Off the walls, like, just, it's going to be cool.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is exciting news.
You've got me hyped.
I'm hyped for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what people make with it. And it's going to make custom games so fun, too.
Oh, yeah. The custom games on this game type, the custom games in Infinite are going to be beautiful.
Oh, yeah. What are you pointing at, Gods?
I said I won't leave this room.
I
will be in here for dinner.
Yeah.
I hope you have a mini fridge in there.
The hibernation begins.
Yes.
Light, right? I don't think you can follow mine with Bud Light, but that's all I have left. So
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I've kept you guys past 7:30. Obviously we had some great discussions. We kept going even after the time. So I mean, I think that says something, right?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, Peyton and Nico. You guys, have been, helping me consistently. And Gods, thank you so much. I know it's late over there, and you still took the time to come sit with us and talk about one of our favorite games. So
yeah, it's been, that means a lot.
Thank you, man. It was awesome.
Love to do it again.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm sure we're gonna have more, Halo episodes, or even if you want to, I'll send you some topics. If you want to come on, I'll send you the topics, whatever we're gonna talk about next episodes. You can jump in whenever. You don't need an invite. You are always welcome to join us. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up this episode. So thank you guys for joining me in this conversation about Halo. It's so big now. It's back in the news. It's been 6 years. We're all talking about it again. We're playing it again, and it's awesome. It's such an awesome time to be a gamer right now, and especially a Halo gamer.